Yo, hi, what's up? Second video, that's crazy. Today we're gonna be coloring something I sketched up last night. I really broke barriers and did something no artist has ever done before, which is draw a picture of a cool person I found on Pinterest. Coloring is like my favorite part of drawing, honestly. It's so relaxing, but also requires a lot of thinking at the same time, which is cool. I love that you can take the same subject matter and just using a color palette pull it into so many different tonal directions, give it completely different emotional connotations. So I love it. It's kind of like when you're coloring something, I kind of think of it as like a puzzle, like a relaxing puzzle. You know, how can I make this cohesive? How can I make this communicate a feeling? And it's also a lot about adapting, because sometimes what you have in your head isn't the same as what comes out when you try to execute it. So you have to be able to adapt and kind of bounce back and kind of bend it into something that works. So today's isn't too complicated in terms of coloring. It's pretty monochromatic. So I'll be quiet for most of the video, but I'm gonna be jumping in every now and then when I want to explain something, might be giving a few art tips. So yeah, I hope you enjoy. So I'm using markers for the base colors. These are called COPIC markers. They're alcohol-based markers, and they're known for being really good at blending colors, which is super cool because that can be a huge challenge when it comes to traditional art. I adore these markers. I've been collecting them since I was in middle school. They're amazing. So the issue is with markers though is that, you know, obviously they dry out. And I haven't used these markers in a while, so I had kind of forgotten which ones were starting to run out of ink. So as you can see, especially with the brown I'm using, there's a lot of streaking. It's totally drying out, and that's not good because especially with skin, in most cases that's one of the most important things, that you want to have a very even blended look. Things can come out looking really weird and disjointed and awkward when you have sort of streaky skin. As you can see here, it doesn't look good, but trust the process. You know, we gotta improvise, adapt, overcome. So I decided I was gonna go over it afterwards with some colored pencil, see if I could smooth things out, add some more definition and just some more vibrancy to it. But first, I need to finish off the base layer, so we're gonna worry about that later. So as you can see, I started adding shadows with this sort of dark red color instead of just a dark brown. A lot of young artists just starting out are tempted to draw shadows using only black or gray, but although that can work depending on the style you're going for, you know, a lot of comic styles have that and it works totally fine, but in a lot of cases that can make your drawing look really dull and muddy and just not great, not vibrant. So something I recommend, and something a lot of artists recommend, is moving around the color wheel when you're creating shadows. So for example, in this case, I'm shading yellow using oranges and reds instead of like dark yellow or gray, black, things like that. And I'm shading brown using lots of dark reds and red violet tones, and that makes everything just look a lot more vibrant, a lot more alive. Here I'm coming in with some orange to sort of halo her hair. This is to show there's light bouncing off her hair, gives it a nice glow, just kind of communicates the lighting situation a little more effectively. Okay, I totally forgot to record for that last section, which is why suddenly there's like a lot more shading. Really sorry about that. Basically, I just filled in the background using some more Copic markers, and then I started working on the creases in her dress using those same tones to kind of add to the cohesion of this drawing. And now I'm starting off with the colored pencil layer. So this is really helpful because unlike with markers, pencils can layer lighter colors over darker ones. You know, obviously if you're coloring with a black marker, it's not like you can go over it with yellow and then suddenly you see yellow. You're not going to see anything. But with colored pencil, because of the difference in material, you can actually add lighter colors on top of that, which is super, super useful when we want to add some highlights to your drawing, which can really make it shine. Unfortunately, some of the highlights I added were not recorded, but if you look at her arms, you can see some of that. I used a light yellow color to give her some more muscle tone, and then you can also see some more of that yellowy shine on the bridge and tip of her nose, and then I add some of that later on her legs and other parts. So here I'm shading the creases of her dress some more, and again, not using black. I think especially with yellow, shading with black can look kind of horrible, so I always go for orange and red instead. Of course, again, it's subjective, like a lot of stuff with art, but that's definitely what I would recommend. Try out orange, red, purple, you know what, just not black. It doesn't look good a lot of the time. And after that, I spend some more time just sort of reinforcing shadows, adding some more vibrancy to the colors, adding some more contrast, and then towards the end, I finish off with the TV screen, which I had been avoiding because I had no idea what to do with it, and I wasn't sure what colors to use, but figured that out. So I hope you enjoyed this whole process. Still got a little bit to go in the actual drawing, so sit back, enjoy, pull up your sketchbook, draw with me, and I hope I see you in the next bit. Bye-bye.